Welcome to this Thursday edition of Afternoon Express Mzansi. My name is Palisa Tembe, and today we'll be giving you a glimpse on how different aspects of the lockdown are affecting different industries, especially in the light of the approaching level 3. It seems like I can also smell what's approaching in the kitchen today. I think I smell amagwinya, amafedkoek, something of that sort. Ladies in the kitchen, am I on point? Do I have it right?
You had it on the head, darling. We are doing exactly that today. We're making vetkoek. I'm making amagwinya like I used to have when I was a little kid.
And I'm making lepeltjie vetkoek. It's like a Free State thing. So if there's anybody from the Free State, please tell us. And it's made with bakpoeier, with baking powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice one.
That sounds delicious, and the carbo loads I need. So South Africa, if you're just like me, head over to our Afternoon Express website and you can receive the recipe and ingredients list to be cooking along if you feel like amagwinya, or even vetkoeks if you're from the Free State or wherever you are in South Africa. Now, South Africa's response to COVID-19 will significantly change under Alert Level 3, as all but high-risk sectors of the economy will be allowed to resume operating. We chat to Dr. Redouane Mia on what the effects and struggles are of COVID-19 on healthcare workers, especially now that we're moving into Level 3 of the national lockdown. We also chat to him about the do's and don'ts that are still unclear. Welcome to the Loft, Dr. Mia.
Thank you, Palisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Doctor, you urge the public to stay safe, practice personal hygiene, and stay at home. So how has the national lockdown impacted you personally, and how are you coping with it?
Well, it's very difficult as a medical specialist, and I'm sure many of my colleagues will agree. We have had to modify how we practice. For the whole month of April, most of us had our rooms, our consulting rooms closed, and we had to postpone much of the surgeries and procedures that we had on our patients that were not life-threatening, even some of the cancers that could afford to wait a few weeks. In May, we picked up a little bit. We were having to do the social distancing even in our rooms with lots of perspex screens, gloving up, masks, having our patients behind screens most of the time. It's difficult when you have to get quite close to your patients. We've had to check them for their COVID status before being allowed to admit them. So there's lots more logistics involved. Difficult on our patients, even scheduling appointments so that there are never more than one or two patients in your waiting rooms at the same time, and having to pace yourself. So it's a little bit tough. Obviously, all our incomes have been slashed massively. So, whether we like it or not, as medical practitioners, we still operate as small businesses. We employ people, we interact with other professionals, we employ nurses and other professional therapists and so on, that have all had to be, to sit at home during this time. So it's been difficult, and we've had to modify as we went along. Initially, it was sitting at home and going in to do emergency procedures and coming back home and worrying about our families. None of us wanted to take the virus home to our families, especially the young kids and older people.
Yeah. Doctor, it seems like you are time and time again putting yourself at risk, but for the greater good of everyone. I can only imagine the amount of frustration that comes with people who are not abiding by the laws. So you even took to the public and told people and complained about those that are arrogant, entitled, and violate the lockdown for their own sanity. Now, what led to this frustrating statement?
Well, I think like many of our colleagues, this came out of discussions with many of our medical colleagues. We saw the lockdown as effectively a delaying procedure to allow a country like South Africa to prepare better for the surge in the number of cases that is going to come, for the avalanche of cases and potentially severe illness and hopefully not, but unfortunately we're going to see deaths as well. So this gave us a time to prepare our healthcare facilities, better prepare our workers, train all our healthcare workers better, and make sure that we have enough protective gear to be able to cope with the load. So, we all wanted to see the public rally around the healthcare workers and to protect our healthcare systems, both our state and private healthcare systems, so that we're best geared to fight this virus when we could. And we were all very disheartened to note that we lived in neighborhoods of reasonably privileged people who were taking it for granted. They were going out and about in the streets when they shouldn't have, and the answers we got when politely, we advised our neighbors and in a very neighborly way to say, please, let's try and observe the president's guidelines. They're there for all our good at the end of the day. And it protects our own most vulnerable people, our old, our elderly, our children. The answers we got was, well, we're doing this to preserve our own sanity, and these laws really don't apply to us. And then we saw the other extreme of our society. In the townships, we saw very poor people who were eking out a living, trying their best to abide by the rules. And look, some people, they just couldn't, and they had to go out and eke out a living somehow, and we really felt pity on those. So it even more exaggerated the point that people who could afford to sit home, to keep safe, to limit the spread of the virus, should have been, showing a spirit of Ubuntu, showing a spirit of caring about fellow human beings, our fellow South Africans, to stay home and abide by the regulations.
Yeah, I see that juxtaposition that you're dealing with and you're battling with, where some people on one end of the spectrum are abiding by the restrictions and another side just don't care. But thank you so much for still doing your part and spreading the positive message. Now, as a medical doctor, you've been giving most of your time to the well-being of South Africa through medical care. This must have rather tremendous and physical and emotional strain on you. So how do you manage this physical and emotional strain? And what advice do you have for other healthcare workers?
Well, I think, the priority is look after yourself so you can be strong and available for your patients. I've been doing gym sessions online with my trainer, via Zoom in the evenings or early in the mornings, which has been very helpful. So not going to the gym, but he's there on Zoom and he tells me what to do. And, that's one way to do it. Eat as healthy as possible, keep a good healthy regimen going in your home as well. Everybody keeping fit, try and exercise in the hours that we're allowed to, but more importantly, exercise social distancing. When you have to go out to get your essentials, your groceries and what have you, try to exercise, all the precautions, keep the distance away from people you don't know that are not in your household, and wear your mask. And I would even go a step further to say, try to wear a visor as well, because it's the visor that protects the eyes, which is another route of infection that we've noted. The mask will protect everybody else in case you are unfortunately going to be carrying the virus as well. So try and observe all those guidelines. And, to add to it, many of us are not in the healthcare profession are not really on board when it comes to opening up our economy as much or as quickly. We're always going to be saying do it more slower. And I guess it's always going to be a compromise. So we're going to have to emphasize to people, even when you have, for example, leisure activities or religious activities being opened up, try to be as careful as possible. Please try and follow all the rules, and please exercise social distancing as much as possible.
And practice those restrictions. Thank you so much, Dr. Mia, for shedding light on the virus that's changed so many aspects of our lives. We appreciate it, Doctor. Cheers.
It's my pleasure. All the best.
Coming up, we catch up with the bold Andisa Kunene about her striking African prints as we head into the end of Africa Month. welcome back to Afternoon Express. From the small town of Ladysmith comes a bold-spirited creative full of big dreams and aspirations. She's enjoyed an impeccable career in TV as a producer, and through the years, she's added fashion creative to her resume. Andisa Kunene's clothing label Full Moon Threads prides itself in bold, colorful, and African-inspired prints. Welcome, Andisa.
Hello, hi.
Haumkhaya owase Ladysmith sisi awusasho.
Yes, girl, A150 baba.
A150, welcome indeed. Now, your fashion label, Full Moon Threads, has been around for a few years now and has been growing steadily since. So from producing television to fashion, what inspired your label and how did it come to being?
Look, for the longest time, as women, we struggle with issues of weight, right? So I got to a point where I couldn't dress myself. And I decided to say, let me maybe have a plus size clothing line for myself, you know? And I love the moon, so I had to marry full-figured, full moon, and then I had to put them together, and then Full Moon Threads was conceived.
I love that. The play of words here, the creativity behind the name and the meaning is so powerful for me. Now, these designs are quite unique and you use a wide selection, you know, of African prints that are inspired and quite interesting. Now, talk to me about the creative process of putting together these beautiful pieces.
So usually I source my fabric from different countries, especially West Africa and Angola. And then what usually happens with my clients is that they would see something, maybe something that I'm wearing, or they would see something on my Instagram, and then they would come to me and say, I love that, where did you get it? And I tell them that it's my stuff. So I would go to them, take their measurements, and then they choose the fabric, and then they choose the design that they want, and voila, Bob is your uncle.
It's that easy, but you making something seem, you know, almost elementary, and you pulling it off effortlessly, elegantly. You've mastered the art of modernizing African prints. So with this being Africa Month, how do you think that your designs lend themselves to the ideas of Pan-Africanism?
Look, all I want to do with my designs is to maintain comfort, is to maintain who we are, and to celebrate, because I think we overlook what we have, the minerals that we have in this beautiful continent of ours. So I make sure that people who wear my garments, they stand out. I make sure that the prints that I choose for them, they give them the identity, not only for South Africa, but like the continent as a whole. So that is my whole thing with this African print, because even if I use plain colors, I always make sure that I incorporate that with the African print, especially the Samagaga that I'm wearing right now, which is from Angola, and the Kente, because there's vast history with these prints, with both these prints. So I usually play with different designs, but using these prints with such big, broad history.
Yeah, so we see that your jersey is quite Angola-inspired, and your head wrap seems to be something quite reminiscent from Ghana. So if you were to think of the Full Moon Threads woman, who is she? What does she look like? What are her fears? What does she feel like she wants out of life? Because, honey, different countries says we're international.
Full Moon Threads consumer is someone who is bold, someone who loves edgy fashion, someone who doesn't mind mixing all these colors and still take pride and feel good and not worry about the fact that maybe the society is going to say they look like a Christmas tree or they look too colorful or too much, because that's what sometimes you get, that when you combine all these colorful, these beautiful colors, people feel like it's too much. Even some of my clients, they'll be like, no, can you please mix it with the plain colors? But I just want, especially the women who buy my clothes, it's a daring, brave, wants to be in control, wants to be comfortable kind of woman.
Okay, I like that woman. I think I can get into becoming one of those women. Now, with the world facing the COVID-19 pandemic currently, how has this affected the way in which your business operates? And what precautionary measures have you put in place whilst dealing with your clients?
this pandemic that we're dealing with is very serious. So all I needed to do was to just follow through and follow the instructions to social distance. The only thing that Full Moon provides at the moment is the masks, the face masks. So I have these usually in plain colors or in print, like this Kenton. So when I make them for my clients, I make sure that I give instructions that when they receive them, they must make sure that they wash their hands from whoever that's giving them, and then wash the actual masks and make sure that they iron them, because once they have, they are able to feel comfortable that they were with them, so there's no need for them to be worried. Who made my mask? That whole worry. So I make sure that they get them, wash them, iron them before they wear them.
Perfect. Nizwileke. All because you bought a mask doesn't mean you put it on your face immediately. Wash it, clean it, make sure that it is 100% ready for you to put on your face. Thank you for that note. Abanye bethu siyakhohlwa phela. Siyabonga sisi wami.
Pleasure, Sisi. Ngiyabonga kakhulu nami for having me.
It's always a pleasure to touch base with the fashionistas of Mzansi. Cheers, my love. Bye.
Bye.
Now we're moving from fashion to finance. As coming up, we get advice on dipping into your savings during lockdown. We also congratulate the next lucky winner in Samsung's amazing Sisonke with Galaxy campaign. Whilst we have all had to face the threat of the coronavirus, we haven't all faced the same financial implications under lockdown. On one hand, a fortunate few have been able to work remotely and even save a little, whilst the others have had to face pay cuts or job losses entirely. Today, I'm joined by Hamil Pardu, who is the CEO of Cash Investment Retail at FNB. He is here to help us navigate our finances during these unprecedented times. Welcome to the Loft, Hamil.
Good afternoon, Palisa. Well, thank you for having me.
Now, you often hear people talk about an emergency saving fund. So what is an emergency saving?
So, well, an emergency saving is exactly for that. Let's take the word emergency. It's for something that really upends your life, something that really throws a curveball to your life and, it throws you off. So it's for those events that are really life-changing, and it's really for when you least expect it. And for that, we say you should really have a fund set aside or some level of saving. We normally recommend about 3 months worth of income set aside for such an emergency.
So would you then classify the lockdown as an emergency?
Yes, it is classified as an emergency because it's something that you didn't expect in your life, you didn't plan for. It's a curveball thrown at all of us. And it really has upended all our life. So it is a form of an emergency for which we can look at using these kind of emergency savings to help us get through.
Then would it be advisable to consider dipping into your savings or cash out your investments during this time?
Well, before you look into all of that stuff, what's really important is that there's various different initiatives or options available for people before they look into their savings. So let's see if there's if people qualify for the cash flow relief programs that the bank has. And that's our programs where you can actually postpone some of your payments or move it to later. At least that eases some of the commitments that you have to make now. And then also in this time, we could look at cutting some of our expenses or, some spend that we had, so that we don't have to ease too much into dipping our savings. At least then we won't have to spend the full month's income into savings, and we can only dip into some of the income worth of saving. And it allows you to stretch your emergency savings for a longer period. And it's also important to note that your long-term investments, as you mentioned, it's something we wouldn't recommend that you actually step into immediately. And it's something that we wouldn't want to break, given there are penalty fees. There are also situations like in the market where your investments have come down, so it may not be the ideal time to break. For that, we can say is rather stick to your investment goals and combine these options together to help you get through it.
How does one recover after they have gone into their savings and investments?
Well, Palisa, let's look at you should always start with something small. Don't think that saving means that you only need to have big amounts to save. You can always save with any 10 Rand that you have. And it's important to stick to a budget, because the budget helps you be disciplined in the way you spend and ensure that you have savings set aside that you can put away. And look at something like where you can put some money away on an easy, accessible option. And an important point I like to advise people is pay yourself first. So once you start having funds available, set that scheduled transfer that you can pay yourself from on your salary date into the savings account, so that you can start building up that savings again. And remember, it's any amount, and we shouldn't be daunting that we need to have like a massive amount available to save. Start from small. Any little cents helps.
And as we continue to look forward, what kind of financial products and accounts should we consider using to save for emergency or rainy days?
Yeah, so very important question, Palisa. And I'd like to say that everyone should have a basic savings account with them. That is for where you can put money aside, and it should be an account that earns interest. So, we've got a basic savings account at FNB that pays interest close to the repo rate. So you can actually earn a decent amount of interest while that money is set aside. And you can also access that money as and when you need it. Beyond that, then we do have other forms of products. Typically, most people understand the 32-day notice product and the fixed deposit. So as people accumulate savings and they want to have more discipline, a notice period allows you to have the discipline where you don't access it immediately. And then if you have a bit extra that you can store away for periods of a few months or more, you can actually put it in a fixed deposit. Now, we should also think about the different time periods. For that basic emergency savings, a savings account is appropriate. But if we're thinking long-term for people, for your children's education, or for that home you want to buy, we should think you could start off with investing in a basic unit trust. But remember, those products are really for something that's for 5 years or more looking out. And you can combine those options together, and you can have your monthly amount split between all of them and build up those savings together. And ensure that you keep your goals in mind, because it helps you have these different buckets to save towards.
It looks like FNB has a solution for everyone here. Thank you so much, Mr. Parbu, for joining us on Afternoon Express. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Palisa, and thank you for having me this afternoon.
Cheers, goodbye. If you need more information about savings and investments and setting up the right account, you can visit the FNB website at www.fnb.co.za.
We can help you bank safely from the comfort of your home. Download the FNB app. FNB, how can we help you?
For the most of us, the national lockdown has meant not seeing our families and friends, but Samsung has made it their mission to help us stay home and stay connected this May with their #Sisonke with Galaxy campaign. Yesterday, we announced Tommy Mbabasa as the lucky winner of a brand new Samsung 55-inch TV that he won with Samsung Sisonke with Galaxy campaign. And today, we're announcing yet another winner. You already know what time it is. Drum roll, please. Congratulations goes to Rizano Gilbert all the way from Durban. You are the lucky winner of a Samsung 75-inch TV. Congratulations, Rizano.
Hi, Phyllis. How are you?
I'm I'm good, but I'm sure you're feeling that much better, huh?
I'm excited.
Well, I can see that you are a cool, smooth type of gentleman, but I'm pretty sure that this TV is going to enhance your general life during lockdown. So what are you most excited for with this TV?
You've got that absolutely right. So how will it enhance my...
Your lockdown?
Hello? Oh, the lockdown. Well, definitely more Netflix and more Xbox gaming, as well as it will also enhance, encourage me to stay indoors as well after the lockdown.
I like that. I like that. I hope that you'll also be picking up a new skill or something while watching the TV.
Yeah, I actually do tattoos. My company name is Blackskin Tattoos. It's spelled BLAQSKIN. So that I will also be doing, when my customers come over, they'll definitely be seeing
The TV.
Viewing the TV. Yeah.
I know, I am such a baby. I hate needles. I'm so afraid of anything that hurts. So you'll take one for the team and just get a nice Afternoon Express tattoo there whilst you're at it. Now, although you are the lucky winner of this fantastic TV, who in your family will be most excited to use it?
Most definitely my girlfriend, eh? I think she'll be super excited.
That's so cute. You guys look so cute together. Definitely hashtag couple goals. Now, will you encourage other people to enter with the Sisonke with Galaxy campaign?
Yes, definitely. I'll definitely encourage them because they could also be a winner, They never know.
You never know. It's as easy as that, South Africa. You could be walking away with an incredible TV or any other beautiful prize that Samsung has up their sleeve. So, Rizano, you already know what time it is, ne?
Yes.
I'm glad you're prepared. South Africa, if you're joining us for the first time and you're wondering, what's up? When I say Sisonke, I'm going to need you to say, with Galaxy. Everyone got it? Chefs, you got it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, everyone's ready. Rizano, 1, 2, 3. Sisonke!
Galaxy!
With Galaxy!
Sisonke!
With Galaxy!
With Galaxy!
One more just for good luck. Sisonke!
With
With
Galaxy!
Galaxy!
Thank you so much, Rizano. A huge congratulations to you once again for winning this incredible prize with Samsung Sisonke with Galaxy campaign. Now, if you at home also want to win big, buy any Galaxy mobile device from the 15th to the 31st of May 2020. Enter on Samsung members and you could be the next lucky winner. Stay tuned as we're announcing another winner tomorrow. Bye, Rizano.
Bye-bye.
I don't know about you, South Africa, but I'm in an awfully good mood, especially after giving away with Rizano. It is so incredible and such a beautiful feeling. Enter, 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 and you could win big too. On social media, we stay connecting, and we are talking all things lockdown. What's inspired you, what's kept you going, and what has held you down. So let's look at our very first comment here. We have got Penelope, and Penelope uti, hi Bali, hey P. So what I learned is to appreciate the little moments shared with family and friends, because you might never get them again. And of course, appreciate the gift of life. Appreciating the gift of life is what it's all about time and time again. So let's keep the conversation going and inspire each other. Now it's all things food coming up as we touch base with the Taste Master contestant, Alex Terrao, about COVID-19's impact on the restaurant industry. And we tuck into South African staple, amagwinya. See you after the break.
Next time on the penultimate installment of Tropic Island of Treasure Curacao, only 2 smooth teams remain in the race for 1 million rand.
This is what it's about.
Let's go!
If you panic, we fall. Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
There must be one more somewhere.
I'm on the verge of giving up.
Come on, for 1 million rand.
We're not letting Cool Red take us.
That's Saturday at 8 p.m. only on SABC3. The stage is yours. Own it.
Alex Terrell is no stranger to all South Africans, having made his television appearance on The Tastemaster. We soon got intrigued by his charms and colourful personality. Today we chat to Alex on how he's been keeping busy during the national lockdown, as well as giving back to his community. Welcome, Alex.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to finally meet you. I was glued to my television throughout the season of Tastemaster. But how have you been keeping busy post-Tastemaster and during the lockdown?
So post-Tastemaster has been absolutely amazing. We were really busy as a business. But then obviously the lockdown came in and we had to shut down everything. So including my new acquired restaurant in a really buzzing area in Joburg, but unfortunately I haven't opened it yet. It's waiting.
I can imagine that everyone is also waiting for you guys to open. But why not? Do you not do takeaways? Are you not seen as an essential service? So how have you then just been able to keep busy during the time?
So during this time, you know, everyone's doing the takeaways and all of that. So I went one further and I didn't want to type of compete with other guys. So we opened an online grocery store and we essentially sell the restaurant quality goods to our customers. Otherwise, we've been doing a lot of maintenance, a lot of work around our restaurant, around our food trucks, around our catering equipment, trying to keep busy and trying to keep obviously our employees basically earning something at this stage, because it's been really, really difficult.
Thank you for doing that, though, because as you keep employing people, you're feeding so many more families. And, you know, continuing on the vein of people just falling in love with you, South Africa fell in love with you, and your charisma and your flamboyant ways when you cook, when you debuted on The Tastemaster. And you also made it to one of the top 3 contestants. So what was the experience like for you, and what did you most valuably take from it?
So from the Tastemaster experience, it was a great show. It was a local show, which is even better. And what I took away from it is that coming third was great. Coming first, obviously, it wasn't meant for me, it was for Chumi. But no, I met great people, great friends. And at the end of the day, I love that South Africa and a production made in South Africa showcased our talent, our background, and the produce we currently have available. It was great to see a great mix of people, from chefs to foodies to home cooks, all come into one place and battle out. So yeah, it was absolutely great. What a cool experience.
I think we learn leaps and bounds when we put in a pressure cooker, no pun intended there. And that pressure cooker seemed to have truly made some gems out of that competition. And local is lekker, right? So we support all things South African. In which way, though, did this business and your business model change? You've already spoken about pushing the grocery store, and you've already spoken about pushing the food truck. So how else have you been able to go above and beyond with this business model?
So due to the COVID type of situation, we had to innovate quite quickly and rapidly and adapt to an ever-changing market and industry. We already own a catering business, a food truck business, and a restaurant business, and we had to innovate all 3 of those into one. So yeah, it has been really tough, but you have to reinvent yourself every single day.
Yeah, you seem like such a leader with a clear mind, clarity of thought. So what advice do you have for other restaurateurs and entrepreneurs, specifically in the food industry during this time? Obviously, not everyone can hop on the bandwagon and adopt the same model that you have going on, but what kind words of encouragement do you have and advice?
Look, advice, I don't think I'm in a position to give advice because I don't know what I'm doing is right. I'll only know in a few months' time if my company's still alive. But what I can say is try everything. Try every avenue you can. If something works, even if it's just only works for a month, do that. Try and make something happen with that. And then if you need to adapt again and adapt again, eventually things will even out and they will get better. But you have to keep on trying with every single avenue as you can.
Yeah, we see creativity and flexibility here coming key play. And you recently started a feeding initiative making 2,500 meals a day, a week. And that's quite a large number of meals. So how are you able to do all of this work?
So essentially what we're doing is we are using our restaurant as the base type of kitchen as well as our food trucks to create meals for orphans around the country. So we've basically chosen schools around Joburg, and we support every week with a drop-off every second day of supplies, of which they can make their own foods. It's been such a cool thing to get involved with. We've had so many people come on board and donate and assist us on a private level. On a corporate level, we've had juice companies, we've had fruit and veg companies, we've had meat suppliers all jump on board to assist us with what we're currently doing. So our aim is 2,500 meals a week, which we are right on target. And Eat Out has also been absolutely amazing, which have assisted us with a fund to keep this going, so we can obviously employ our staff, pay our staff, buy the supplies that we need, and obviously take those supplies and feed the schools and kids. So it's been heartwarming, heartbreaking, emotional. It's been amazing. If you can give back, please do so. It makes you feel good, but not just about making you feel good. If you're doing something for a good cause, also make sure it's not a once-off, something that is sustainable and that you can keep on doing it. So I've made it part of our company now. Once things do get better, that we can support these schools that we've been supporting over the past 2.5 weeks now on a regular. I don't want to do like a once-off. A once-off doesn't work and doesn't really make it doesn't really help anyone. So it's more like a long-term view.
It seems like it needing to be a long-term plan, you need as many people on deck and on board as possible. So how can the public be able to get involved?
So how can people get involved? All they have to do is go onto our site or follow us on Instagram at 88s.com if you go onto our site, or at 88s Food on Instagram or Facebook. And essentially, they can just send us a message, say, hey, I want to get involved. I want to give you either food or either money, whichever. We were going to use that to pass it forward to those who need. And in that process, we produce content. So people will see exactly what we're doing.
Oh, wow. I love that little angle as well. So you can see exactly where your food and your work and your hard-earned money is going to, of course, for the public and everyone right now who is moved by Alex's movement. Head over to Afternoon Express's website and we will have the details as to how you can contribute. Thank you so much, Alex. We really appreciate your time with us and giving back in the way you have.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Bye, Alex. Alex is a true hero for being proactive during this difficult time. Not only has he been innovative in keeping his business alive and keeping staff employed, but he's also giving back to his community in a big way. We thank you so much, Alex, for the awesome person you are and the amazing work that you do.
Guys are doing a great job. And yeah, again, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Alex. Bye.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
I have to say it is beautiful to see Alex and after the competition to see the amazing things that he is doing. And gratefully for me, I did win the competition, so I'm here to show how it's actually done. And anyway, today we're making some delicious magwinya. You're going to show us how to make the fat cook, but I want to show you how we used to do, or rather how the kind of dough that we used to eat. As I grew up, when we were growing up, we used to always go to like Espaza and buy this, and we always have it with cheese or bologna or even snookfish, but I know you're going to fancy it up for us again today.
No, not at all, but you carry on, not at all.
All right, so on our side, what we're doing, it's literally similar to a bread dough. The only difference is on our side, we're not baking it, we're going to fry it. So going into my flour now, I've got some plain flour, I've got some yeast, some salt and some sugar. And then how I do it is I normally mix my oil and my water together. The water has been warmed, so I'm just going to add our oil into the water.
So it's butter that it's going to enrich it with a beautiful butter like taste and buttery
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because yes, we could fry with the butter, but I want people to actually enjoy the taste of it in the actual dough that we're making today. So I'm just going to bind that together. And the other thing with amagwinya is that if you want it to be softer and gooier, you're more than welcome to add more water. If you'd like it to be more firm, then obviously leave it nice and thick, and then you can just knead it to the consistency that you like.
Nice tip. I would have added more butter for a creamier and thingy taste. Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to go in here and mix up this dough. And then obviously with any bread dough, you leave it to proof for a couple of hours. And then once it's bubbled up enough, then you can actually start frying your dough. So let me put this to the side for now.
So my recipe is, I grew up in the Free State and we were a big family. And my mom used to come home very late and then she whip up something. And this is something, you just need 1 cup of self-raising flour, an egg and milk that I'm just going to mix together. And that's basically it. And then I'm going to add my butter.
Okay.
But it is amazing because they call it lepeltjie vetkoek. Because I'll show you just now when it comes together, you use a spoon to actually fry it. So let me just get this in here. It's also just going to, I just almost went
You measure
extra.
with your eye. Any good cook measures with the
Yeah.
All right, so while you're doing that, I'm just going to get together with my dough that we did earlier. So it's nicely proofed. It's already got all those bubbles
Smell
in
it.
And the lovely thing about it is, like I mentioned, if you want it nice and runny, you don't even have to do this part that I'm doing here where you're going to cut it up. You can literally take the dough, form a ball, and drop it into the oil.
Yes.
And then it forms those nice little round, different to how you do it, because you're doing it with a spoon, but it's still going to give that nice little round shape that you like.
What I like, I can smell the yeast. Oh,
know,
my
right?
word, I can smell the yeast. And I love that flavor because it smells like bread.
Yes.
And now you're going to fill it with that beautiful, what are you filling it with?
I'm
Tell
filling
me.
it with acha. This is how we normally have it.
To me.
Acha, snookfish, French.
I'm in heaven.
That is your guignard right there.
Yeah.
Other people I know enjoy it with mince. I like to leave it like this. Like for me, it's simple like this, nice and hot and crunchy on the outside. And nice and gooey and soft on the inside.
So a tip that I've got, if you want to see if your oil is ready, is to use the back of a wooden spoon. You put it in, and if you can see the bubbles forming, and I hope the camera can see, I think mine is not completely ready because it mustn't fry vigorously, but it must just fry a little bit.
Correct, because you don't want it to burn on the outside and then not cook fully on the inside. So I'm going in with my guignard right now. Like I mentioned, you can do those different shapes that you'd like using your dough, or actually like what I've done. We have places where they cut it up into shapes like I've done. We have places where they just drop it into the dough itself. But the one thing you have to make sure with all of them is that once you've made your dough, when they do come out, it is important to make sure you put it on paper so that oil drains out. Because yes, it is quite an oil-rich dish, but you also want to make sure that you get off as much of the excess oil as you can.
Yeah.
And some people enjoy it a lot sweeter, like myself. I enjoy my magwinya a bit more on the sweeter side, so I like to make sure that I add a bit more sugar to my dough.
I also sometimes like to add a bit of sugar. But isn't this amazing? It's Africa Month.
Yes.
Are we making guenya? Do I say it right? Guenya.
Magwinya.
Magwinya.
Right there.
And vetkoek, like Vrystaat vetkoek, like Free State fat cake.
We just went from Free State to Soweto all in one dish.
Exactly. And that's the wonderful thing about our Rainbow Nation.
Yes.
There's so many connections we've got. And we find it in the kitchen,
Dude,
too.
I
find
know
it in
exactly
the kitchen.
what you're saying.
Look at this.
That looks so cute and pretty.
I know. Let me just show you here what it looks like. And my mommy used to put this on a table in a massive big bowl, like an enamel bowl, just with some syrup and some cheese on top of it. And that's it.
Perfect.
Syrup and cheese on top of it.
Perfect dish. And anyone that would like to get this recipe, please do head on to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. Make sure you get this recipe and eat it with whatever fillings you'd like. Cheese, acha, bacon if you'd like. If you want to make it sweet, go there with the syrup, cheese. It's completely up to you. I'm going to finish these so I can
have those to take home tonight,
and
please?
then I have some of those.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes,
Let's do
yes.
that.
Okay, we're going to chat.
Palesa, how are you doing over there?
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
From Soweto to the Free State, I quite like that. We might be in lockdown, but we're traveling in the kitchen. A good belly of laughs is always appreciated. And frankly, laughter is what we've been getting as Mzansi, and it's helped us get through the lockdown. So, coming up, one of the country's funniest women, Anne Hirsch, calls into the loft for a catch-up. Welcome back to Afternoon Express as we wrap up the show on a funny note. We welcome back writer, actress and comedian Anne Hirsch to see what she's been up to during lockdown. Funny woman herself, and I'm ready to laugh. How are you, darling?
Oh, it is so good to see you.
It's been
oh my gosh, I have missed human interaction.
It has been so long, and the last time I saw you, funny enough, we were both leaving the show, and I think we were on the same flight together. But now there are no flights. We're all locked down, girl, you know, staying home. So how has it been like for you?
Well, today is day 73 for me, and I'm fine. I am absolutely fine. Not complaining. I came back from Bali while it all sort of hit. So I went into 14-day quarantine, and on day 10, the president announced that we're going into lockdown. So, yeah, it's been a journey.
A journey of 73 days long. Now, within this time, homegirl, you moved house. Like yesterday, Izolo. How did you do that, and how was it like?
It has been so wild, Lisa, I tell you. The only thing that I'm thankful for is that lockdown has taught me to just kind of go with the flow. I'm not going to lie, just for this 10-minute interview with you, I started preparing at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I think it took me about 40 minutes to decide if this plant should go
Should be there or not.
So these tools have helped me. So that when I had to move out of my house finally yesterday, I could just kind of breathe through it, you know? Yeah.
Making sure that all the important things are spoken for. Clearly, the plant is essential right now, is the essential member of that household. Now, Anne, you were also in lockdown, as you said, before the time that the rest of us ended up joining you. So, you know, going to Bali, how was the trip? And now getting into lockdown, what have you been getting up to?
Bali was amazing. Highly recommend. But then life sort of ended. My industry, certainly, as you know, kind of just stopped. So I've had to keep myself busy. One of the things I've done is I've started a lockdown calendar behind
is that
me.
what that is?
You can see, you can go and check it out on my Instagram. So every day I wake up and I'll just kind of write about what happened the previous day. I can read you one of the days if you want. Do you want me to?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm actually wearing sweatpants. I hoped you wouldn't see this part, but anyway.
But here we are. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yes.
Stylish as ever.
I'm not going to be happy. I actually haven't seen my parents in 6 months, and they're not very good with technology, so we can't even video call. So this is the first time they've seen me in 6 months. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Thankful for the little miracles. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
So I'll read you one of the days. This was day 50. Day 15 of level 4 and day 60 of isolation. It says here, I woke up at 7 a.m. Exciting stuff. Then I went to the shop. Oh, this was going to the shop day. Big event. Must have been a Friday. Then I ate a pizza. Classic Anne. And then I watched Killing Eve in bed by 8 p.m. So some of these wild nuggets, you can find out more of that on my Instagram page.
Classic, and it seems like it's the wild, wild west out there, getting up to the most extravaganza, the drama, the intrigue of it all. Love it, waking up at 7. Intriguing stuff. Okay, but Anne, you know, going into now the skills you've also picked up during lockdown. We heard that you're thinking of starting your own salon called Curl Up and Dye. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So Curl Up and Dye TM will be the salon that I'm starting. I've had to cut my hair 3 times already in lockdown. As you can see, this is my own cut. Yeah. It was very stressful. It's been an emotional roller coaster. I can recommend, I actually need to show you the little scissors that you need to use. I don't have it with me. I'm going to get it. Palisa, just wait.
And can I tell you something that I love? Gee, Maran. I mean, she's gone anyway. But what I love about the title Curl Up and Dye, it's my favorite South African play, or one of my favorite. I got lots of South African plays that are my favorites. So I love Curl Up and Dye, and it's iconic that this is the name of the salon.
I'm back. Palisa, so I recommend for anyone wanting to cut their own hair in lockdown.
Which shears are you using, girl?
You need to, oh, I don't have it here. Oh, this is awkward. You see, I didn't prepare. I was focused on the plant today. But you need the funny little scissors. I'll post a picture on my Instagram.
Okay, it's fine. We'll forgive you for that because we've got it on video right now. So South Africa is seeing your techniques, the classic skills that you've got. Now, Anne, we love you here in South Africa, and the president loves you too. You are all things, you know, translator extraordinaire to the president, all things taking care. So, you know, we want to find out a little bit more about that as we're about to wrap up the show.
Yes, I got the call to help the president and of course South Africa, and when you get that call, you top up the airtime, you answer. You know, and I've done what I can. It's been an absolute honor. It's been a privilege to serve my country on the front lines, and I'll keep doing it. I'll keep doing whatever I have to.
Bye-bye, Anne. On that note, South Africa, please let me clap hands for Anne. She is serving the country. She is answering the president's call, and she's loaded up her airtime. Thank you so much, Anne, for just making my day today on this Thursday. We appreciate you. Thank you, everyone at home, for watching Making My Day every day simply by tuning in. Good night, God bless, and happy eating. Tomorrow, we've got such an incredible show, though, lined up as well. We chat to the delightful Sichaba G, the fierce Nadia Nakai, and the soulful Simpiwe Dana. Until then, Mzansi, thank you so much again. Mwah! Goodbye. Bye, Anne.
Fresh, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.